Well, here we are. Welcome to episode 188. Welcome to our new listener, and to you if you've been with us since day one. I know you have, Lisa Brandt. Welcome to you, too.
Welcome, Erin Davis, to Gracefully and Frankly. Great to talk to you as always.
Yes, Lisa's in Port Stanley, Ontario. I'm on Pender Island in British Columbia. And we are both now happily embarking on August with a few adventures. Yours right in your neighborhood, mine right in my neighborhood. Where do we even begin?
Well, our next door neighbors Airbnb their house. They are very picky. It's always long term. We don't get weekend warriors or anything. The last family that lived there, I guess, stopped paying rent.
Ooh.
You know, this happens all over. And the way the system is set up, it favors the tenant because historically tenants have gotten really screwed over by landlords. So as it turns out, they were being evicted, but before the eviction notice was official, they started moving out. Really nice people. We like them a lot, actually, among the best that we've met. They ended up packing up and leaving a day later than they were supposed to, so they crossed paths with the person who was moving in.
Okay.
Now, the person who's moving in is going to stay there for a couple months, is a friend of the owner's, but she is chirpy and decided to chirp at them over what they've been doing. And I guess the guy has a hair-trigger temper and threatened her immediately.
Okay, when you said chirpy at them, you mean the outgoing tenants?
Yeah, the family, yeah. Because they're, they didn't pay their bills and all those kinds of things, which happens to people and it happens all over. So she called the police. Police came, wanted to know what happened, went and talked to both sides. Now, police don't have the authority to evict somebody. That's the sheriff's department. But she let the police know in no uncertain terms she was unhappy with them for not doing it, called them weak and a bunch of stuff. And she was told many, many times not to talk to the people while they took their stuff out and left, and just to leave them alone. And I actually said, why don't you come into our house and we'll just sit and talk and we won't even see them. No, she wouldn't do that.
Oh, boy.
Fortunately, it did go calmly. She went and stayed in her vehicle. And not only that, the reason it took them a while was because they actually cleaned before they left.
Oh.
But I don't think they're bad people. I think they've fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
They were embarrassed. They wanted out. They wanted to get out before they were evicted. And they just didn't want somebody in their face giving them grief. The police did what they could and then left. Everything turned out to be calm. The next day, there's a knock on the door, and it's a woman looking for them.
Uh-oh.
I said I had no idea where they went. Then later, another knock on the door, and it was a bailiff looking for them, trying to repossess their car.
Oh.
So we have no idea. We just plead the fifth every time. We don't want to get involved, and we just don't know.
Right.
So that was a little drama at our place. And, of course, neighbors going by see police. They're at our house because the woman's in our garage. And it was just a little tiny bit of excitement. That was it. Now, you had far more excitement, and I can't wait to hear how this turned out.
Well, a couple of things, and they all had to do with deer. I mean, who else can find drama with deer? Friday night, some friends of ours here from our new cabin road invited us to go to the Legion for some music. There's a barbecue. All proceeds go to the Legion, which is just fantastic. Mm-hmm. So we're on our way home. It's light out. And all of a sudden, I look over in the field because we're always counting and looking for deer on the way home on the very short drive. And I see a deer thrashing on its back, legs kicking and obviously struggling. And it takes your mind a second to try and take in what you've seen. Now, it's quite a ways from the road, but it was out in an open field area. And so I kind of shouted to our friend and driver, pull over. There's a deer that's trapped there. So we did a U-ey and then parked and then made our way quickly past a horse paddock to where this deer had been and had just turned right at herself and limped off while several other deer hopped away. Well, it turns out she was tangled in this thick mesh cloth/metal ribbon that I believe the farmers had put up around the paddock to keep the deer from jumping into the paddock and eating the horse's feed. But she'd gotten tangled in it. So I quickly, maybe wrongly, just reeled the whole thing up and left it in a pile near a tree so that nobody else could get tripped on it or stuck like that. But She was injured, and the question was, well, what would you have done if you'd gotten to her and she was still tangled? Well, I would have tried to steer clear of the hooves and just, calm her a little bit while one of our other four untangled whatever had her tied up. But
That's all you can do, right?
exactly. And
Yeah.
might have gotten a few good bruises for my troubles, but I wasn't going to leave her there just writhing on the ground.
No, you couldn't.
See, the problem here is because we anthropomorphize so much and we're all Disney-fied, we all think that deer are our friends. And for the most part, they are. I mean, Sunday morning, I awoke to no fewer than 9 deer in our yard. They were lying down. One had her face perched up on the edge of the deck, just kind of resting. And it was just, this is Wonderland. But we kind of had to pay for that a little later in the day.
Oh, Livy got close to a deer.
Yes, she did. We're sitting up on our deck after a long walk. Dottie is tied up on the deck, as she always is, because she's the happy wanderer and she loves to get into what little trouble there is here. Livy is always at our feet. These are little Havanese dogs. They cling to you like a burr. And we could hear some rustling in the bushes, so we figured, okay, there's deer around. We looked down, and there is Livy standing toe-to-toe with a full-grown deer. And Livy's tail is wagging, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be the cutest thing. So we're calling her, but I also start shooting video. Well, no sooner did I do that than the deer rears up, comes down, and was trying to stomp Livy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that video, and I just squealed. I thought we were inches away from a devastatingly injured dog.
Yeah.
And then she came back. She just trotted back to the house, kind of looked back and went, well, I guess that didn't go well. And then came, and she's absolutely fine. No limping, no pain, no anything. Here's where I get the Idiot of the Year award for posting it, because I thought, wow, this is something that just happened, and I wanted to share it with people. I ended up only getting 3 nasty responses.
Out of how many?
Oh, you would ask that, you glass half full woman, you.
Yes.
Out of about 200.
There you go.
Yes.
Because there will always be negative people. I can't believe the things that people find something negative to say about. And they don't know you. They don't know your dog. So
Yeah.
they don't count.
Leash up your stupid ass dog. Well, okay, she's not very smart, but I do take offense to that. And then one woman on my Facebook page where they're supposed to know me better. I always figure on Facebook, you're there because you know me. But no, Mary decided to go after me as a bad pet parent, whatever. And I had a good response to her. But then I thought,
Exactly.
I read the best post a few weeks ago, Lisa, and it's from Christian Bale, and it's been reattributed to somebody more recent. And it's, if you have a problem with me, text me. If you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. And isn't that great?
That is great. And not only that, but in this case, you posted it almost as a cautionary tale. Like, this was close and we're grateful that it's fine. And yeah, I mean, there will always be people who, for whatever reason, need to vent their spleen at you. And
Well,
they just don't count.
especially as animals, where animals are involved. I think people really kind of just go,
Over the top.
yeah, like you're the worst ever because she wasn't on a leash. But Lisa, Livy sticks to us. She doesn't
Yes.
wander, but
Yep,
in this one occasion. So that's all it takes.
And now you know.
Absolutely.
Right.
The more you know.
The things that bug me are seeing people hand feeding deer, and then deer start to think that people are all friendly and they're not, and they stop at behaving like actual deer. But do I post anything about it? You shouldn't be feeding them. No, I don't. I move on with my life. So
That's right.
that's what they should do as well.
Well, people do say the darndest things, and sometimes it is in person. More often than not, it's keyboard warriors who are enjoying their anonymity. But we got a call, Lisa, to our gracefullyandfrankly.com voicemail. You just go there, look down, the microphone's right down there on the right. And oh my gosh, Ann K. from Toronto. And you brought up the whole deer thing, DEAR. In this case, my God, we've got a theme. It's a homonym theme.
Right.
Do you want to re-up where that all came from in episode 185?
It was just a guy in a grocery store who used dear on me like I was feeble. He wasn't that much younger than me, and he certainly wasn't older than me. If he was older than me, I probably would have understood it if he was, elderly or something. But I just felt like he was being condescending. And so the gist of my blog and of my little rant was don't call me dear. I got used to ma'am. We all got ma'amed at a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be called dear, and certainly don't want to be called sweetie and honey by people who don't know me. So that's where it came from.
I say my love because it's a Newfoundland thing. And when we were in Newfoundland, and I know that you experienced this too, is that all, my love? Or can I help you, my love? And it's just, to me, it's so wonderful.
That's almost close to something that Flo would have said on Alice.
Yes.
I don't know that she would have said my love, but to me that sounds kind of endearing. Our friend Wanda and her husband use that when they talk to each other, and I love it. I think that's very sweet.
It is. So the whole dear thing came up, and Anne, well, let's get to her call about what she thinks of that and what she has heard. You won't believe this.
Hi, Aaron and Lisa. Devoted listener, just listened to episode 185 with regard to being called dear by younger folk. I am both short and disabled, so ableist and shortest, I have experienced that condescension. Things like, it's so nice to see you getting out and doing things. Like, I'm walking my dog, I'm on my way to work, you have no idea. I'll pray for you, or God bless. They don't know the first thing about my beliefs. Can you have sex? Or even, how can you have sex? And at work, oh, do you work here? When I've already said, hi, how can I help you today? Isn't it obvious? I'm wearing a name badge. Oh, thanks for the rant. Love you.
Oh, we love you too. Thanks, Anne. Thanks so much.
People are awful sometimes. They just don't think.
No. And so I followed up when she left that voicemail. I wrote her back and I said, what was her response to the sex question? Because I know everybody's wondering. And she says, okay, nobody's asked in a while. But her response now would be, oh, you should check my OnlyFans page.
Good for her. That's just so offensive and so intrusive. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I understand when children come up with questions because they're just going to ask, like, what happened to you? Or does it hurt? People will do that. And, oh, God, I still remember walking through Coombs, that place with goats on the roof on Vancouver Island. And we were with Colin and I think his sister, but we were walking along the side of the road, going to the market to get some ice cream. And there was a gentleman walking toward us. Please stop me if I've told this story.
I was with you.
Oh, God, you were.
Yes.
Oh. And he had his shirt pinned to his chest. He was a young man and had one arm. And Colin said, he has one arm. And it's like, yes. And I believe the man was within earshot as we approached each other. He was.
Yeah. But he was really cool about it. I'm sure it's not the first time. I remember him kind of looking like, shrugging like, kids, what are you going to do?
Right. So you and I remember it now, you and I made a beeline for a bench and we sat him down and we explained why we don't say things like that. And Robbie was so great in the way he told him, and Colin looked like he was going to cry. Yes.
And I remember Rob saying to him, you don't have to feel bad about it now, but just know, you know better now, so you have to be better now. And I'm thinking, oh, this is so great. This is so good.
Yeah.
A teaching moment.
And I wanted to run back after the guy and tell him we were sorry. But, I would have ended up putting my foot in my mouth and saying some of my best friends are missing a limb or something stupid. So, you know me, always overreaching.
He seemed to get it, and the fact that it came from a kid and it was so innocent, it's bound to happen. So, but you guys handled it so beautifully. I remember that moment so well. And then the goats on the roof. Derek has a T-shirt I bought him from there that he wears regularly that has a goat on a roof.
There you go. If you're in Parksville, British Columbia, be sure and make the trip to Coombs and check out Goats on the Roof. It's a market, and their ice cream and their deli foods and everything. And of course, their housewares. It's just totally worth it. Sometimes the goats aren't there if it's too hot, but get over it.
Inside is just as fun. It's really great.
And as far as we know, they're on leashes. So maybe the kids should be.
Not a bad idea.
Right. So the whole deer thing, Lisa, that blew up way more than you expected, didn't it?
It did. A lot of people had strong feelings about it, a lot of women. And we got an email from Valerie. Mm-hmm. She explained, and I love that people, if they have a different point of view or whatever, everybody's so nice and it's more of a learning thing. So her husband calls women dear.
Mm-hmm.
They're 72 and 73, and he calls especially servers dear all the time. And she says she's tried to explain over and over that it's no longer appropriate. Sometimes he will catch himself, but not often enough. We have a 47-year-old daughter, and that's what he calls her. I believe he thinks of the servers like he does his daughter. Whose heart wouldn't warm from that?
Yes.
She says, fortunately, it seems no one has taken offense to it so far. So one of the things I noticed from this is it's an older gentleman than the women saying dear to them. Mm-hmm. Now, that's beautiful. That's very different than someone who's 48 looking at me like I'm 148 and calling me dear. And she says, I must add, it's never in a condescending way. It's a quick thanks, dear. I think it's sweet. Then she says, I love listening to your podcast, funny, informative, and real. Keep up the great work. So we'll do our best. But I think that's sweet. Totally different than the way it was laid on me.
Yeah, it's all in the intention. Everything in life is in the intention, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can murder somebody, but if you didn't intend to, well, then you're good.
Yeah, well, it's a shorter sentence if Dateline has taught me anything. I try and learn from these things. We live and we learn. When you know better, you do better. In the words of Rob and I think Maya Angelou. Also, thanks to Nancy for writing to us. You can do that through our pod page, gracefullyandfrankly.com. But again, we'd much rather hear it in your voice. She said, I binge-watched all episodes of Little House on the Prairie on Netflix last night. Definitely a good watch. So, yay. Okay.
Yay.
I'm currently watching a 6-parter on Lockerbie that is on Netflix right now. It is not light. It is a very Scottish production. And there's no really big stars in it or anything, but it's a story well told, and a lot of it from the perspective of the people of the town of Lockerbie. Brilliantly done. Got any other things you're watching these days?
Nothing new lately that I can remember.
I get that.
I can't remember anything.
You have a life, and that's okay. But there's something that we've noticed, and I don't know why it came up somewhere on Threads. It's share with us your pettiest pet peeve about something in TV or movies. And when I responded to this, I got in on the thread really early, so it ended up getting thousands of comments. This, to me, is ubiquitous.
Okay.
Empty takeout cups.
Oh, so when they're drinking a coffee or something in a show?
Yes, or carrying a tray and it's as light as a feather. You and I both know when you're carrying a tray of coffee, it's like you've got Fabergé eggs filled with nitroglycerin. You are not letting those things even jiggle, but no, they fling them around like they're tossing pizza dough.
They do.
Now, a lot of people who are in the props business in TV and movies, they said casts and crew don't want to mess up costumes. So somebody said, okay, some sand and some glue or a beanbag, anything.
Right.
It's my pet peeve. But I have another one.
Okay.
And that is, as a former Gold Star drinker, when people order a martini, have a quick conversation at the bar, and leave said martini just sitting there. That thing was $20. You are going to drink that unless you're driving. I mean,
right.
Who leaves a full glass of wine or a full martini? It's okay if you're going to throw it in somebody's face for being a cad. That's good use of a martini.
Right.
But really, leaving a full drink on the table? Maybe that's just something that I notice. I don't know. What about you?
I've noticed it in Cheers. People do it all the time. They order a drink and then they immediately get up and leave. And I guess they have to order a drink because it's set in a bar. And I know beer was cheaper back then, but still.
Exactly. Well, I guess it paid for Sam Malone's toupees.
I have one too.
Okay.
So this is mine whenever it comes to police in a show, and it happens in movies, it happens in TV shows. They found out that the perp is in his house and they're going to go surprise him. They pull up right out front, get out and slam their car doors. Every single time. In fact, we just finished watching. Oh, I do have something we just finished watching. A Harlan Coben book is what it was based on, called I Will Find You, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things that happened in that was a big shootout right outside the front doors. I mean, I know it was a massive mansion, but still, right outside the front doors, there's a shootout and all these people getting killed. And the people on the other side of the glass don't even react. They don't hear it. But the car door slamming has always bothered me. I will sit there. Derek will attest that it's annoying that as soon as they pull up and they get out, I'll go slam. And they do every single time. Like, does nobody think of this?
No, but that's a very good one. Okay. Thank you for that, Lisa. I will never not notice it. By the way, is it worth a watch? I Will Find You?
It was all right.
I will find something else.
It was twisty and turny. I remember really liking the book. It's all right.
Okay.
It's a long way to go for, all right, 8 episodes. So, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Hey, are you ready for another email?
Always.
This has been great. And the email address would be
gracefullyfrankly@gmail.com.
Okay. gracefullyfrankly@gmail.com, or just click through our Facebook page. You can reach us there. Really, you're making our show feel so complete by being truly a part of it. This one says, "Hi, Aaron and Lisa." It's from Marg. "I'm still laughing after your last podcast episode when you mentioned Maureen O. from Ontario. I knew she'd be hooked once she listened to you. Thanks for the call out to me as well. I tell all my friends about your podcast, even my new friend in Port Stanley."
Woohoo!
Oh, you'll know this place.
Yes.
Maureen and I had lunch with Lorraine at GT's on the beach. We've been there, you and I.
We have. It's literally on the beach, and the food is great.
My question, she says, is how did you two meet and become besties? Did you work together at 680 News Radio? That's in Toronto. I always listened to that station in my university years. Hope you're enjoying your weekend, Mark. We did. Thank you. We are now. We're getting ready to. Okay, so you take this one.
Well, we've both been in radio about the same length of time. And when I got to Toronto, hired by 680 News, I did news on your morning show, you and Don Daynard on CHFI, right? That's how that started.
Absolutely. I'm enthralled.
I'm trying to remember. And it was a big, hairy deal. I mean, you guys are number one and just a wonderful job to get. And you and I didn't really spend much time together initially. I was sort of there when you weren't. And, I come in, do my news and then leave. It's not like we hung out. But something happened and we realized that we could take advantage of the gym, or I started following you to the gym, or I'm not really sure how that happened. But we had the same hours. So when we were done, we could go down to the gym together and pretend to work out and gossip a lot.
Yeah, we did have fun. We had fun at the gym. We made each other go to the gym, and it was a good place to unwind and hopefully get some steps in on the treadmill and stuff too. So that's where the friendship began, and it just built as Lisa continued to grow into the morning show co-host on 680, and I came and went and had a series of co-hosts on CHFI, and then Lisa left, but we stayed in touch, and that's just how the best friendships go. You don't force them. You just keep the thread
and
going.
I think because we're the same age, almost exactly, literally, and we've both been through the trials and tribulations of having big male ego co-hosts, no names, just generally, and that kind of thing. We had a lot in common and a lot more than we thought. Like, I used to see your commercials when I was doing a talk show in Hamilton and think, oh, even though I was in radio, I think she's got it made. Everything must be perfect type of thing, And it never is. And no job is. No job of any kind is. But especially one where you're under so much scrutiny and working so much. And I was just always in awe that you would do the morning show, go home, grab a couple hours of sleep, then go out and do some event, and then come back again and get a couple hours of sleep, and then come do the morning show. You're always fresh, never in a bad mood. It would just always amazed me that you could do that, because I was just always begging for sleep. It was like, when can I get sleep? When can I go lie down? Can I please lie down now?
Yeah, and that's what fuels me now as I sleep until 10 in the morning every day. It's just like, nope, I've paid my dues and I'm going to sleep when I want to. But that's our story, and we continue to hopefully visit each other in person at least twice a year. And thanks to everybody who has bought us a coffee to help make that possible, for airlines and stuff. No, WestJet, thank goodness that was so fast, by the way.
Yes, still 250,000 people put out, so they have a lot of splaining to do.
Yeah, we're Porter fans now anyway, and our dream is for Porter to sponsor this podcast. So we'll just keep putting it out there. In the meantime, so grateful that Envy Pillow also brought us together, because I was a customer, a client of the Envy Pillow. When I mentioned one day on the air I had terrible neck pain, and that was all stress. I couldn't even turn my head side to side. And Kathy and Kim, somebody there, heard about it, sent me an Envy Pillow, and I was absolutely hooked, never knowing that years later they would come to sponsor this podcast and be such an amazing commercial partner for us.
You showed me your Envy Pillow. In fact, you gave me my first Envy Pillow, and that's how I got hooked. So this is how it goes. You tell two friends, and you tell two friends. And I also have a neck problem, chronic. And I was thinking just the other day about the pain and the migraines I used to go through before the Envy Pillow. And it really does help. And it also keeps your face off the pillow from getting smushed. You don't wake up looking like a Shar-Pei. At least I don't. So be sure to check them out at nvpillow.com. That's ENVY pillow. And the code GF will get you 10% off your purchase.
So that's our story. And thanks to Kathy, who called last week to tell us about her mom being the oldest person in Canada. And Kathy says now that she's going back to episode 1 of Gracefully and Frankly. And, by the way, I got the aunt who died earlier this year. I got her name wrong. Her mom's sister died at 103. Right. And I said her name was May. No, she died in May. Her name was Virginia. Or she died in Virginia, and it was May.
Oh, no.
No, she was definitely Virginia. Okay. So, Kathy, thanks. Sorry for the mix-up. I'm a twit. Oh, and speaking of...
This week in Totally Stupid or...
I always felt so sorry for the kids who had their birthdays in the summer. You know, they didn't get the class giving them their little applause or singing or having their name on the board or getting the bumps in the playground and all that kind of stuff. Did you ever get that? Did you ever get the bumps?
Oh, yeah, I got the bumps. Definitely. Yeah, I used to live in fear of them pulling my shirt up and giving me a red belly, because that was the thing. And I didn't want anybody seeing my belly.
Oh, my goodness. All the stuff that, keep your hands on your own self. Yeah, that was a good change as we aged. But kids' birthday parties now, a lot of them will happen during the summer. They're a big business, no matter how you go about it. Of course, you've got the price of food, the cake, the balloons. Some people rent bouncy castles to keep the kids entertained.
Maybe, yeah.
But now there is a trend for hosts asking parents to please help cover the expense.
So let me get this straight. I have decided to throw my kid a big, expensive party, and you have no say in what's happening, but you're going to help pay for it. Wow.
A UK parent and financial advisor says, if you're inviting my kids to your kids' party and you ask me to pay for them to come, 9 out of 10 times, they're probably not going to be attending.
People are watching too much social media and seeing what the Kardashians are doing for their kids. Your kids don't need that. They don't expect it. It doesn't have to be spectacular. They're kids, so live within your means, right?
I know. Really, sometimes it's the little things that are the most memorable, at least for us in retrospect. Most memorable thing for me, my parents finally threw me my first birthday party when I was in grade 5. This girl, Arlene, showed up with a present for me, and it was a necklace with the letter A. I think her parents thought my name started with an A, or maybe it was hers and it was all she had to give.
I think it was early regifting. I really do. Aww. But what a great story it makes now, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The person who counts how many negative comments would remember the wrong birthday
Well,
gift.
I have to tell you that voice text on my phone, when I tell it Aaron, still spells it Aaron, no matter how many times I have typed in Aaron, which is 1,000,000 times. So that necklace would work now, as far as I'm concerned.
Going back to that saying, You have my phone number, so we don't have a problem.
Right.
Lots more stories to tell you next week, but listen, it only gets better if you share yours, so please do. gracefullyandfrankly.com. Just follow your little eye down to the bottom right to the microphone, and you don't have to be perfect. That's our job, to make you perfect, or even just as good as you are. And talk about anything. You can share anything you want, okay? And we appreciate it. We appreciate you. And we appreciate Mally Bickley.
Oh, yes, our 5 coffees from Mally. Thank you so much, Mally. That was very thoughtful.
It really was. She listened to the show with her mom, Terry, and Terry has passed away. And Mally and Terry were inseparable.
Oh.
So, Mally, we know you're missing your mom. Wanda, we know you're missing your dad. We seem to have a lot of friends and acquaintances who are losing their parents right now. And it is hard. And if anybody asks you, why are you still grieving? The answer is because I still love them.
Exactly.
And that will always be the answer. So our hearts are with you. And it was just so kind of you to turn around and buy us 5 coffees, Mally. We appreciate you, and love to you and your family, and to Wanda and Denis and your family too. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Lloyd Robertson passing away this week at the age of 92. The collective heard across Canada. He was one of a kind, and he will be remembered as a man of integrity and kindness.
Exactly.
And all the best. Our condolences to his family, to his friends, and everyone who worked with him at CTV. What a life.
I will talk to you next week, lady, and watch out for those deer, will you?
Okay, dear, I will. I'm 12 days older. Does that offend you?
I feel so feeble.